right.
Episode 12, Rickety Union.
Yeah. Once again, not the greatest titles, but so be it. This episode, okay, so I mentioned that this was the last of the bullshit episodes. This episode has a lot of bullshit.
It ends with a bang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one thing interesting is that this was the last episode of Pioneers that I finished before I took on a major hiatus. So when I do episode 13, there's a very different, like I've kind of, my mind is refreshed and I'm coming at it from a fresh look.
Yeah.
So this I'm sort of tapering off with my usual crap. Oh, actually, I think I may have filmed. Nah, disregard. Let's just watch it.
Okay.
Just watch it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I think I may have filmed this all in a single night, and I just separated it into episodes.
Right.
But alas.
Okay.
Yes.
So episode 12. Captain Mike Bates's thoughts.
It's my belief
Pause.
that when someone...
Okay, so in season 1, sometimes we do hear from Mike kind of narrating his own thoughts.
Okay.
So this is a bit of a throwback. Not saying it's a great design, but,
but
there is precedent.
Yeah. Okay.
His own people is doing extremely successful in terms of the way with which their government is ruled. That person gains a sort of pride for his people. A love of who he is. Because it means something. So, when the Bionicles decided to come up and approach us, asking for an alliance, it's no wonder why the fellow generals of mine and myself were a little reluctant to agree. Please, Prime Minister, don't make this any harder than it has to be. I'm just looking for an answer. We are at your mercy, good many things.
Oh, are you trying to appease us? Do not forget that it's...
I like that the city is named Mercy.
Yeah. I don't know if I intended that or not.
Oh, okay.
They're
at Mercy.
Yes.
And they're at their mercy.
Interesting. I'm going to say that's so clever, I very probably did not intend it.
This is, we're at your mercy, and we're at your mercy.
It's like, we're at your mercy. Yes, you are.
Yeah, yes. Oh, and you want mercy too.
Yes,
oh.
yes.
Your fault that the Minifig Empire had to devote a great majority of its resources and personnel to dangerous missions to try and compete with your own empire. It's because of you that our government has been in slight jeopody.
Slight jeopardy.
While your government may have been in a little bit of jeopardy, ours has already been destroyed. You realize me, Icarax, and Gavla are the only people left that are actually following a code? We are the only ones who are actually abiding by the law set forth when we entered the new land. Isn't that worth allying with us? I'll have to think. George, Mike, Clark, Carlos, all of you, come here. I need your help.
This is a very serious matter. I don't know what these Bionicles are planning. They've never approached us in a friendly way.
We've never been at war with them.
That much I know. But we've always been on edge with them. And suddenly they want to
make an alliance with us? It's hardly an alliance. It's 3 Bionicles asking to be part of our empire. Their empire is total history. Yeah, it's just those 3. The rest are gangsters.
That's my point. What am I to do?
I say don't.
And explain why, Captain Clark.
Are you serious? It explains it for itself. The Bionicles are thugs. They're gangsters. They're monsters. You can't trust them.
See, they're all racist. Huh?
Yeah.
I think you can trust these 3, because they haven't fallen to gangs.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
not
3
all. Carlos spoke too soon, but the point
300
is there's this undercurrent in their societies.
Yes.
They cannot be trusted. Some of the Bionicle Empire's top scientists became gangsters. That's how terrible this race is. We can't trust them. They may seem nice now, but for all we know, this could be a sabotage mission just to destroy us. Hell, we don't even know if these 3 are actually part of a gang or not. He may say he's the king, but he's probably the leader of a gang. We can't trust him. You make your point very clear, Clark.
How different is a gang?
In one regard, I agree.
Yeah.
But on the other hand,
You know, it's funny. I was actually going to bring up. I was like, well, if you know, if the gang is all that's left, isn't that kind of a government in itself?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
have been
No, but I mean,
by
like
these
what a
monsters,
libertarian
and all
might
the
say,
dangers
like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
the government's
suddenly
just a
arisen
gang
over the
itself
new land.
anyway.
Yeah.
That's why I begin to think that perhaps the Bionicles, thugs they may be, perhaps they are in need of our help. And to be quite honest, I think the Minifig Empire could use a little help itself.
Archimod, what did they mean by we are the reason why their empire had to devote so much of its resources?
What do you
We weren't
think they
competing.
meant?
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah, I know, right? Like I was gonna say something.
Like,
about
what? Wouldn't that be great if Archibald snapped? What do you think?
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah,
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a real brain scratcher. You know?
Oh God, that's funny.
Yeah.
We were, I'm afraid, in the Arthene mines. At the time,
For real,
Arthene was the
brain
prime
scratcher.
resource here. It had high veneer.
Do you think there's anything
That was a
still
cutoff?
down there?
Yeah.
In the Arthene mines? Are there still miners?
No, are you kidding? All the miners of the Bionicle Empire became gangsters.
I don't mean that. I mean, are there any, like, mini...
You know, it's funny when they started this conversation. I thought they were listening in on the. They're like big enough that it sounds like they could
Oh, yeah.
literally just turn their head.
They could just kind of lean over, like,
Yeah.
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 So Gavla right now is wondering, can she go back into the mines?
They've all died.
I see.
Why do you even care?
I don't know. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind actually going down to see it. Gavla, I forbid it.
I just want to see it. I just want to see what it was like for the minifigs to be a grand empire, a glorious regime.
Interesting.
The Bionicles, they may
gonna
be
be fairly
fair weather
important later.
friends, if you know what I mean. Yes, I do. They only become friends of us when they need our help. I mean, before,
Episode 12 of
we were
Masters
really
of
on
the
edge.
Universe.
I'm a little surprised we didn't start fighting each other on our own. Truth. So,
For
perhaps they're
truth.
not the most trustworthy of allies.
They're all named after
Look.
virtues.
I think we should do it. Are you crazy? Stop. I'm starting to think that too.
What?
Yes.
It's decided.
You're crazy. You can just... You've hardly even thought over this. I have. I've been thinking all about this ever since the monsters started popping up in the new land. We need help, and so do the Bionicles. We are all fighting the same enemy. We might as well stop being enemies with each other. Don't you understand?
He's got some sense.
Just
Yeah.
promise me, Gavla,
A little bit.
you won't
Yeah.
go down to the mines.
I promise. Calm down. I promise.
So, I guess we just wait.
Bionicles. What? Bionicles.
It is decided. I have spoken with my top commanders, and we have agreed that we should allow you to join us.
Pause it here.
Ally with us. Whatever you want to.
Now, I of course, as you can see, I wasn't very good at explaining anything of my intents here. But one of the things with Pioneers was it was trying to show, because it happens before season 1. Okay. So at the beginning of season 1, there is basically apartheid. Bionicles live here, minifigs live here. So
Yeah.
What Pioneers was showing is that there may have once been a window of opportunity when the two races could have come together and be friends.
Okay.
And like Stanley Gutanoa, he seems to be he's the leader of the minifigs, and he seems to be someone who's open to cooperation.
Right.
And Archimod, who is somewhat representing the Bionicles,
Yeah.
he seems open to cooperation.
Okay.
Something's going to happen along the way that undoes that. But
Okay.
right now, it almost looks like there might be an opportunity, had things gone differently, that
Yeah.
things might have been okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's the intent here.
Right.
Call it. We should be friends. God bless you for
God bless you. See,
Yeah.
God,
Yeah, how
another
much it
shot.
means
Yeah,
to
yeah.
us. I'm sure it means quite a lot. I don't know if there's any room for you in the base.
but you can at least stay outside.
You can sit here in this corner.
Heck, you can keep watch. That will be your first task as the allies of the minifigs. Watch out and alert us if you see anything. I think we can agree with that. Good.
Yeah.
This may be for the best.
I think it wise that we do ally with them. Me too. Me three.
So Mike, Carlos, and George, who are all the
know.
season 1 major leaders,
It's a
they
bit
all
of a,
liked the idea of allying.
rickety idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
However,
So the good guys like the idea.
So far, nothing bad has happened.
We've been allied for them for about 2 seconds.
And that's true. I'm just being optimistic.
Overly.
Back to your positions, everyone.
Prime Minister, what you've just done.
Oh yeah, I'll explain this.
I don't know.
Please, enough of this. Don't make me feel any more guilty than I should be.
You feel guilt?
Well, just a little. I don't know. I felt always a little reluctant, but I said what I did, and it's over. I can't turn down this alliance now.
But
Well,
I
Igrax, I
want you
did
to
what I did.
listen
Yeah.
to me when I say that these Bionicles, they're gangsters. They're monsters. They're animals. Prime Minister, their empire fell for a reason. I know. Do you? Prime Minister, you've got to hear me out when I say this. The Bionicles were their own demise. And now you have just let them in to the workings of what remains of our empire. I solemnly promise you that these monstrous and sinister Bionicles will be the end of all the minifigs.
Interesting.
Pause it there. So when I was younger, as I imagine a lot of kids with a passing interest in history, I was took a lot of interest in World War II. Fascinated with the conflict, fascinated with all the different theaters of war, all the paraphernalia, everything about it. I just thought was fascinating. There is basically there's also a lot of shit about World War II, like shit documentaries, shit junk. There's some absolute trash because it's such a locus of interest.
Yeah.
It's almost its own market.
Right.
These shitty documentaries people will buy up because they want to see another clip of Nazis marching. They think it's interesting.
Yeah.
But of all the World War II documentaries I've seen, none have surpassed the solemnity and just journalistic excellence of BBC's World at War. It's an older one. It's dated. The audio quality's perhaps not the best. I think it was made in the 60s, 70s, maybe.
Okay.
But it was made by the BBC. It's basically a comprehensive analysis of the whole war. I've seen it maybe 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Nothing comes better. All the other ones, I don't think they do enough respect to the horror of that conflict.
Yeah.
They just sort of, this event happened here, this event happened here. The BBC one actually makes an effort to press upon the audience the horror of what happened.
Yeah.
Like it's reminding the audience, hey, this isn't just action figures and, toy guns you can buy out of a military enthusiast magazine. Millions of people died all over the world over this. And anyway, the point is I absolutely adore that series for its the care with which it analyzed that conflict. And in the first episode, they discuss Weimar Germany and the Weimar Republic, where Hitler rose to power. I forget who, but the Chancellor of Germany prior to Hitler was Hindenburg. Hindenburg? I forget. I forget his spelling. But anyway, Hindenburg, the guy named after the blimp, or the blimp, whatever. Anyway, so Hindenburg apparently was told by one of his aides after the election of Hitler, directly after. Yeah. The aide told Hindenburg, who was senile and aging, I think, maybe? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. He tells Hindenburg, this is directly after the polls were cast. He says, I promise you, Chancellor, this accursed man is going to be the end of all of Germany. And that was sort of like this, anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Little tidbit. But anyway, if any of you fans watching this or are interested in World War II and have not seen that, you do yourselves a favor and you watch it, and there's just nothing else currently out there I have seen that comes close to capturing it. So anyway, my tangent on World War II. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Let's just finish off this second degree.
And there we go. So that's the last of what I would consider the bullshit episodes.
Okay. So then, should have gone to episode 3.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Okay.
We will see you next episode.
Yes.
Okay.